Today, representatives from more than 40 countries gathered in London for a conference aimed at halting wildlife poaching. Among the attendees were the Prince of Wales and Prince William, who have made it their mission to draw attention to the crisis. Last year alone, conservationists say roughly 22,000 elephants were killed by poachers wanting their ivory. That's actually more than one every half an hour. The practice has soared due to the demand from China, and in a moment, Damien Grammaticus will give us the view from there. But first, Mark Lowen travelled to Kenya's Tsavo National Park to see the effect of poaching firsthand.
Africa's treasure under threat, hunted by the poachers. 30 years ago, Kenya had almost 170,000 elephants. Today, around 30,000 remain. A devastating ivory trade led by China has reached record levels. As dawn breaks over Tsavo National Park, a week-long aerial census begins to gauge the poaching impact. It's a vital tool for the rangers who believe they're winning the fight.
We're obviously beating the poachers. We are beating them, they're not beating us. Our men are dealing with them effectively. And the census would basically be an indicator of that we've been successful.
The planes circle over the savannah.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Teams counting the elephants to see if new births are outweighing those poached. There is a shocking statistic in Africa that an elephant is killed by poachers every 15 minutes. The hope of this census is that it will show a resilient elephant population, but also indicate where they are and if they're straying into territory too vulnerable to the poachers. But then the hard reality. Our cameraman is allowed to join a small vet team that hears of a newly targeted elephant. It's a huge bull with prized tusks, hit by poachers for the 4th time. The gun saves him. An anaesthetic dart to give the team time to work.
As he's walking under a tree, whatever's gone in has gone in here like this, so it's likely a spear. So what a guy does is he either sets an automatic spear up a tree with a weight on it that the elephant trips and the spear falls, or a guy actually sits up the tree and spears the elephant from the top.
A special clay sucks out the poison and heals the wounds. 2 more weeks and he'd have been dead. He has to be pulled up, a new lease of life, until the poachers strike again. So how old is this one, for example?
To Donnie, he's about, what, 3 years old now, not quite.
For one of the world's most renowned elephant experts, the extent of poaching is hard to bear.
Terrible. Really terrible. It's, in this day and age, it's an indictment on mankind. We're looking at about 10, 15 years before elephants in the wild disappear.
China's hunger for ivory kills here. Kenya is trying higher fines for smugglers, but saving this precious species is more critical than ever. Mark Lowen, BBC News in Kenya.
5,000 miles from Africa, China, with its new drive to consume and new taste for luxury. Ivory is sought after here, sold openly and legally. Problem is, behind the legal trade is an illegal one, and critics say this is what allows it to continue. To show you, we need a hidden camera. Each piece must be sold with a credit card-sized photo ID. It proves the ivory is from government stockpiles, not smuggled. But look closely, the picture does not match the carving. The ID is for a different boat. Nearby, we find more IDs that don't match. But as soon as we ask about them, the seller shuts up shop. China is now tackling the illegal trade. Ivory seized by customs has been crushed in the run-up to the London conference. Smugglers arrested. But still, Chinese buyers want ivory. Some believe it brings good luck. Others see it as a safe investment, sure to appreciate as elephants get rarer. 30,000 are being poached in Africa each year. And to avoid the crackdown, ivory traders are turning to the internet. Online sales are illegal, but they're not hard to find.
Okay, good.
We made contact with the dealer and set up our cameras. He produced a carved tusk, illegal African ivory, asking price £7,000. Other dealers have been put in jail, he said, and it's getting harder to smuggle tusks. But that means the price of ivory is going up.
There are lots of ivory collectors, but there's less and less ivory available now. So the price is shooting up every day.
And while the buying goes on, so too does the killing. Demand for ivory here fueling far-off slaughter, pushing Africa's elephants towards extinction. Damien Grammaticus, BBC News, Beijing.
And the two sides of a heartbreaking story there, in which, of course, elephants are the victims. And that brings today's broadcast to a close.